Rise and Shine will likely be a challenge for average gamers, and a nightmare for the budding novice. Brought to us by Adult Swim Games and Super Mega Team, Rise and Shine is the newest side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. It's a challenging, reflex-testing ass-kicker of a game with a throwback story full of homages to great retro games of the past. I've beaten the game twice, so here's a review to help give you a rundown on Rise and Shine. You play as a young boy dressed in an orange hoodie named Rise. The world of Game Earth is being threatened into eternal doom by bald-headed space marines, and the first scene opens up as Rise stumbles into a candy mall and witnesses the legendary warrior whom protects his home get killed. With his final dying words, he entrusts you with Shine, an obnoxiously conceited, smart aleck talking pistol, and instructs that you must find the king and save the world. So Rise and Shine set off together in search of answers as they defend the kingdom from a slew of robotic alien invaders. Through this short journey, you'll be treated to a beautifully realized comic book style presentation and a very unique underlying theme. It's a love letter to classic video games, with references to Mario, the Super Nintendo, and more. Rise and Shine is a 13-level bullet hell gauntlet run with two main gameplay loops: run, gun, and cover-based twin-stick shooting, and environmental weapon-based puzzles. The game itself is set up as a series of handcrafted, mostly single-screen nightmare engagements that often play out very similarly. Most of the time you'll be forced to run into cover and carefully pick off various enemies while avoiding damage. The game uses a lot of enemy diversity in nearly every engagement, having to deal with projectile shooting robots, creepy pink bodiless heads that throw down toxic poison at your feet, and giant space marines that charge forward, threatening insta-death if they reach you is a very common fight. Often it's very challenging, extremely fast-paced, and quite demanding. That's because you die in 1 to 2 hits in Rise and Shine. From the very get-go, the game demands your attention. Every single fight in the game is pretty challenging, and I died nearly multiple times on every single screen. However, the intensity brought on by the difficulty is fairly addictive, so it does go a long way to make you feel accomplished when you do polish off a level. Now the second gameplay element in Rise and Shine, the puzzles. By flicking the left bumper, you can switch between different ammo types to a self-controlled seeker missile. You use this to solve puzzles by guiding bullets past environmental obstacles until you reach switches that you can detonate to open new areas. Supplementing this mechanic is the introduction of the explosive bullet system a little bit later in the game. You're able to launch and aim explosives that detonate at your chosen time by reactivating the fire button, and this will be necessary to complete some of the major puzzles later in the game. Boss battles are equally challenging as well, testing your reflexes mostly and spatial awareness even further. Most require you to swap between various ammo types and gun types, counter weaknesses, dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge out of the way of one-hit kill mechanics, and kill tertiary enemies buzzing around all over the screen. But the best part about Rise and Shine is that it'll simply make you feel like a kid again. The combat is very fun, it's fast-paced, and it's going to remind you of those 16-bit no-name ass-kickers that a lot of us grew up on. Now there isn't much that needs to be said about Rise and Shine's art style, just look at it, it's a beautiful comic book brought to life in a video game. The colors and the animations in this game and the hand-drawn art are so amazing. While some of the stages are coded in a warm tone, other stages like the zombie cave stage are ominously black. The darkness in this stage is midnight black, perfectly offsetting the blinding light of your trusty flashlight and making for a very atmospheric experience. I really like this level. And of course the attention to detail on display here in Rise and Shine is hard to deny. Each scene is completely hand-drawn, and each level is a single continuous work of art. It's just a shame that there isn't more of it. More levels, more variety in color and location, just more of everything. And that's one of my major gripes with Rise and Shine. It's just too short, and it's over far too quickly. You can beat the game in about 2 to 3 hours. Not only is it over before you know it, but the game seems hell-bent on rushing through each of its major mechanics. For instance, the game gives you an electricity bullet add-on very early on in the game. You fight just a handful of enemies with it, and then shortly after, the explosive grenades are introduced, and then 60 minutes later, the game is over. I wanted more combat, more time to explore the satisfying combat scenarios, more stages, just more of everything. But less puzzles. The only thing holding this game back. is the self-guiding bullet sections and the puzzles that are just there to be there. And sometimes they're so cryptic in nature that I scratch my head in confusion. Exhibit A. Who would ever think to shoot this orange into this pressure lever to open this door? I sat here for 10 minutes trying to figure this out. You can't just expect people to stumble into finding this out halfway through the game when the player has never seen this weight and lever mechanic yet. Exhibit B. An invincible wall that kills you immediately if you step forward 1 inch. Press continue to reload the game, and you die over and over and over. But throw the controller across the room like I did and walk away, and suddenly the game reverses your death and you may now proceed. I'm not joking, this is how you advance past this part. I understand varying up the gameplay sections by including puzzles is a good way to break up gameplay, but this is not how to do it. Rise and Shine is a great game when it focuses on its gunplay, and the story is well written, whimsical, and just plain fun. It's a shame that it's over far too quickly. With that said though, I definitely recommend the game for any side-scroll and shoot-'em-up fans without question. Thanks for watching guys. If you enjoyed the video, by all means hit the thumbs up button and subscribe here by clicking this button for more reviews in the future. Have a kick-ass day dudes.